Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe and Star vs. the Force of Evil, among others. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
Today, Delaney, Michelle, and I will be discussing week 2 of the February of Star vs. the Force of Evil. We will be discussing episodes Mathmagic, The Bounce Lounge, Crystal Clear, and The Hard Way that aired this week from February 13th to 16th. Spoilers for all of those episodes. We've been doing, we're taking you through the February of Star, big second half of season 2, airing every Monday to Thursday in the mornings. And you can find all of our podcasts at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. We podcast Star regularly, so check that out. And very excited to get into this week's episodes. We covered week 1 last time. We loved week 1. So let's get into week 2 here. Again, spoilers for all these episodes. Big reveal at the end of The Hard Way. So make sure you've seen that.
Yes.
And what's your overall thoughts on this week's of episodes, and what's some of your favorite stuff from this week, Delaney?
I forgot to do my ranking thing like I normally do, but it's kind of hard to do this week because some of them are kind of like
we don't need a rank. We can save that for the very end. Yeah. But overall, on your thoughts on this week.
I think it was a little bit weaker than last week's overall. I mean, it was still really good. Like, I loved all the episodes, and they were really fun for different reasons, and I thought all of them were interesting. You know, some of them you'd think were really odd, like Mathmagic, but I thought that was really visually interesting, and we'll talk about that more. Also, it has one of my favorite things ever in it, Space-Time, which is, like, great stuff. And whatever his name is, Omnitraxis is great.
Omnitraxis, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, parallel universes, and, like, you know, we're getting in some really interesting, like, mythology universe reveals in this week. It's pretty neat. And the Bounce Lounge was, like, Ponyhead's always a treat. And, I don't know, I just really liked all of them. Weirdly enough, I really liked Ludo this week, which is not normal.
Yes! I love Ludo. I'm so glad
he has daddy issues, so that's
fun.
Yeah! A lot of
so
them, all
funny.
of them, in fact. And I just really liked this week. Like, it was really good. Also, like, huge reveal, freaked out. Dylan called it, so just bow to Dylan for a little bit. And I just really liked it. It was good stuff.
Toffee, yes. I mean, everyone called Toffee, but yeah. Michelle, what are your thoughts overall on the week?
I actually did also really enjoy it. I did feel that it was, like, compared to last week, I guess, like, my excitement was, like, slightly diminished, but, like, all the episodes were really solid. Like, I think maybe my least favorite out of all of them was Mathmagic, and I still really liked Mathmagic, so if that says anything, I think this was still, like, a really good week overall. I really, really liked The Hard Way a lot. I think it might be one of my new top episodes, so I don't know. I might have to push something else out now. Yeah, it was so good, yeah, and, like, it's not that, like, I love Ludo as a character, but, like, I do think he's been really fun this season. And this was, like, hands down one of my favorite episodes with him. Because I thought all those jokes with the daddy issues landed so well. And it was just great seeing his dynamic with Glossaric. Like, I had a lot of ideas of how that might play out. And I think this is, like, the best case scenario of how it's going down. So, yeah. And very good cliffhanger, too. I'm, like, super pumped for what's happening the last chunk of the season.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of love for The Hard Way, so we'll discuss that. I think clearly this is a step down from last week. Last week was just so incredible. That's like an unsustainable pace. I think there were 3 top 10 episodes of this show last week, so obviously this isn't going to be as good. I still think this was a very strong week of episodes. I don't think there's any, like, standout episode to me. I'm seeing a lot of love for The Hard Way. I didn't think it was even the best this week. I'm very, very much like Mathmagic. I think that was my favorite.
Really? Oh,
it's really neat.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Mathmagic.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Delaney and I are Ludo haters, though, so I think it'd be expected that
well, I was going to say, I think Crystal Clear was, like, my second fave, but, like, you guys both really liked Mathmagic. That's really interesting.
Crystal Clear is okay. Yeah. They're
yeah.
So most importantly, so I'm my big thing is, like, I'm tracking, like, Star as a potential top tier animated animation show.
Right.
Right. That's my big thing right now. Like, this is a crucial time for this show. So the two things I'm looking for are like standout episodes, which we got 3 of last week, and consistency. And this week was the consistency week. Like, I don't think any of these episodes were bad, which is a big thing for the show. The show is very inconsistent, but we haven't had a bad episode since the like mid-season finale. So, still all signs good. I think a lot of people are like iffy on the Bounce Lounge. I think that's a perfectly fine episode. So, in fact, I would say all 4 are good. So I'm encouraged. Yeah, I'm encouraged.
Good.
Yeah, I'm encouraged here, although there wasn't really anything stand out for me. Although I really liked Mathmagic on rewatch. That stood out to me, the second time. So let's go through all of this. Let's start with the hard way because this is our biggest plot advancements. And we need to start with the return of our Lord and Savior Toffee. Yeah, I'm very excited to see Toffee back. Toffee, I think, is my 3rd favorite character on the show, and we've been hyping the Toffee return, and here he is, as expected. Was the one Ludo was talking to in the wand, and is possessing Ludo now after he's.
I think that might be a thing. Maybe you just possess him the rest of the season.
Right. I'm not clear on whether this is temporary or permanent.
Yeah.
Is Ludo just tainted by the dark eclipse of magic now, and will always have Toffee in him?
I mean, he seems like someone who'd be pretty susceptible. If like Marco was, I feel like Ludo would definitely be susceptible.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I feel like this will be temporary. I can see them going this kind of route with Ludo because like Ludo clearly just wants like attention.
Yeah.
I feel like we could go this. Like, Ludo is possessed for a time, but somehow, like, not that I think Ludo's strong of will or anything, but something could happen. Also, I feel like we're going to have a separation, like, Toffee coming actually back in some form.
Oh.
You know, and then we have, like, Ludo kind of, like, probably a crisis of, like, character. And we'll see. Like, and not that I think that'd be super interesting, but I feel like that's probably where we're going. Even though I definitely think probably the most interesting thing they can do with Ludo is, like, Ludo never comes back, and it's just Toffee and Ludo. But that's not really fair to his character though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think probably from it could go both ways. So I think probably from a storytelling perspective, that's just going to be temporary. Just so we can, I don't know if Toffee is going to suddenly be the main antagonistic force instead of Ludo. The only thing that would make me say that he'll just stay as him is we don't have that much time left this season, and
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, there's only a few episodes, so for the rest of the season.
So if we just don't have another Ludo check-in until the finale, then it could just be Toffee in the finale.
Ludo, yeah.
So either way, it's not like we're going to see a ton of Toffee now. I think it's temporary on our screens, whether he goes back or not right away, is what I would say. I'm very excited to see Toffee. We've done an incredible Toffee build up. In Into the Wand, we have all the stuff with Toffee and Queen Butterfly. Toffee's like immortal, and is Toffee Queen Eclipse theories? Was Toffee like the consort? Seems no. From there's like a recent painting or something that we saw. Is Toffee like the son of Queen Eclipse and a monster? Like, what's going on here? A bunch of theories with that, and very excited to see how Toffee plays. Either way, no matter what they do, Toffee's a great villain. And I'm really interested. Toffee is the Zhao of Star Wars: The Force of Evil.
Which is why Dylan loves him.
He's like the best parallel to Zhao, I think, in a show since Avatar. Like, season 1 villain that like dies, but we're bringing him back unlike Avatar. So this is going to be great. Just like the overconfident, cocky, like ridiculous villain. It's great.
But he's also like very, very clever and like smooth. Which I appreciate. Like, that's totally part of his appeal to me as a villain. Like, he just seems like very calculated to the point where he like, even when you think like you've got the jump on him, he's already planned ahead for that, and he actually knows what's like coming next in the equation.
In a show of like incompetent people, Toffee is
like that's why he's so appealing in comparison.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, like in comparison to Ludo, it's like, oh my god, thank God we have Toffee.
Very excited for Toffee, and also very excited seeing Queen Eclipse in Frozen in the Ice and Crystal Clear. Yes. That's interesting. That definitely points to her returning at the end of the season or at some point, because she's just frozen and not dead. So that would be.
And they can clearly be unfrozen, and there's no like seemingly negative effects of being unfrozen.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Will Toffee and or Queen Eclipse appear in the last 6 episodes of the season? So the answers are neither, Toffee, Eclipse, or both, Delaney.
I'm just going to go with Both. Like, I feel like Eclipsa has to appear. We've been building it up. Like, she has to appear this season. She has to.
Michelle.
I'd say at least Toffee, but I would like to think both.
Clearly,
but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe she's more endgame than season 2.
Right,
like maybe
that would be neat.
Have more build up, but
Clearly,
like definitely we're building to her reveal. I think
or
it's
like
just a
at
matter
least
of when.
Like I feel like least case, which like if we're doing in game, which I definitely think Eclipse is kind of in game, but not necessarily like villain in game, but like we're going to Eclipse obviously, and I feel like what could happen, like maybe like we have the finale and like, you know, the big thing in the finale happens, and then like kind of an end scene is like for some reason Eclipse is able to come out of the ice. Like that'd be something like the crystal.
Like
I
as
feel
a
like
cliffhanger for the season, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
It's like the magic fades enough that all his crystals go away.
Yeah, because like magic's been sucked out of the universe, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm clearly we'll see Toffee again, I think, in the next 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm a little iffy on Eclipsa just because there's not much time left. So right. I wonder if our star climax is seeing Queen Eclipsa or if it's just like a star focus thing. Clearly Eclipse is coming in at some point in the series.
Well, I feel like we're gonna see Toffee, but I don't feel like it'll be Star and Toffee.
Yeah.
You don't think there'll be like a face off, yeah.
Like there won't be. I find it hard to believe. Get like you said, you know, we don't have a lot of time left. And we really like, I feel like this is kind of a hands-off season in that, yeah, like the book got stolen, but like we're kind of pretending it didn't happen. Like Star, you know, she's like, don't tell them. And they're not actively, you know, like even Marco, you know, for a while we've been at this, like, you know, just wait, we're going to wait and see what happens. So I think like that'll be more of something we resolve next season.
Yeah,
like getting the book back, even like that might happen at the end of the season.
The second half of the season is not about Star versus someone; it's about
her
Star.
feelings.
It's about Star's character arc. So to climax the main plot of the season, you don't have Star facing off with Toffee. You have Star facing off with like herself and like where the direction she's going on.
I think it'll be another like tree, like a moment like that.
Yeah, you have Star like getting emotionally devastated and like seeing what happens with her in Dark Magic. Like that's the finale. Like it's and whether Eclipsa plays into that or not, I don't think Toffee maybe comes in and tries to capitalize on that, something like that, but it's not like a face off. Yeah. I think is where we're going. So that's very exciting. The Hard Way. Is this the best Ludo centric episode of the show?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, man. The Ludo alone episode was so good. No, it was so
Ludo alone is terrible.
Ludo in the wild. Yeah, that's the only comparison. I didn't love that episode that much, but I know that
everything about that episode works so well for me. This is a very different kind of Ludo, but I love it.
Yeah, well, I think
he's like a needy child. It's so funny.
I think Michelle represents the general opinion on Ludo a little bit more than me and Delaney.
Oh, really?
So,
okay, interesting.
So I think Ludo in the Wild's kind of a beloved episode, and I think people. I've been seeing a lot of The Hard Way is the best episode this week. So what did you love so much about Ludo in this episode, Michelle?
Because this whole season they've been taking, because Ludo was like so incompetent for a season, right? Like he was like a joke of a villain. Like Toffee was the only like foreseeable actual threat. And he was always kind of looming in the background. And Ludo this season, like, actually is taking control of his life. He's maximizing his potential to, like, be in control of monsters and, like, rats. And he was, like, building this empire. And that's just, like, fun to see. It's fun to see that progression. So I think that what makes The Hard Way work in comparison is, like, he's been built up as, like, this kind of, like, actual, like, considerable sort of kind of maybe actually a threat. But then, like, he acts so, like, childish the whole time. And it's, like, so funny because we've been seeing this other side to him. So, like, seeing him like this now is, like, really, really great. Because at its heart, like, he still has this very, like, silly, like, ridiculous, like, personality you can't take as intimidating. And just, like, every time he'd be like, but was my spell better than Stars? Or, like, will you tuck me in? Will you tuck the wand in, too? Like, it works so well because the rest of the season he's just been, like, actually trying to take things seriously. So I liked it for different reasons than I liked the other Ludo episode, but...
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the appeal in a general audience sort of way, I guess.
That's a good explanation. But Delaney, you also were pretty high on this episode.
Yes, kind of for the same reasons Michelle, but not that the Michelle said, but not quite. Like,
okay,
I feel like what they're doing, like this episode, kind of encapsulates why Ludo is a terrible villain, but they're like playing a joke on it, which is why I like it. Because like we're seeing this, like I love how many times Glosseric said like to your potential, because his potential is 0.
Exactly. His potential's so low.
And like, talking about, his control over monsters, he controls rats.
Yes.
And he's just terrible. And like, that's what I like about it, is like, we finally, like, I kind of feel like I finally see the point of Ludo. Like, he's ridiculous on purpose, and like, he's awful on purpose, and he's just this like tool for Toffee. But I mean, I think we are going to see him like become like whatever Ludo is supposed to be. But it was just like a funny episode. That's why it was just funny, and like Ludo was just like more sympathetic in this episode because he was like being ridiculous. And like this episode and what was it? Oh, Mathmagic were both examples to me of like how much the show is Rick and Morty with like a rainbow flare. And I think it was just cute and funny, and like we kind of had the fun like workout montage, and then also like this Ludo made Glossrick uncomfortable, which A, that's great. I hate Glossrick. That's great. That's 2, he's so weird he made Glossrick uncomfortable, which is incredible. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's part of what was so appealing about their dynamic, I think.
Yeah, that we'll get into Glossrick. Yeah, I think this is by far Ludo's best like portrayal on the show. It worked for me the most. I thought that Ludo was did well, was good enough to carry the episode. That being said, still would have preferred not to have a Ludo-centric episode here. This is just a personal opinion, but for me, Star is everything on the show, and she just needs to be on the screen. This is one of the shows where I feel like the main character needs to always be on the screen. I think Star might be my favorite character on TV right now, and like Marco's like also great, and so Marco can carry an episode, but Ludo's pretty far down on that for me. So just not seeing Star in this episode, like I like The Hard Way, but it doesn't stand out to me.
No, I agree. Like Ludo doesn't, like we've kind of had multiple like Ludo centric episodes, and like it's just like I don't really care about Ludo. He's like not that great, and this is the only episode that he's carried.
It's like, yeah, I agree. He actually did carry this episode, and it was good. The rest of the Ludo episodes I wouldn't say were good. Like this one I would say it was good. But just the difference between Ludo, who I don't care about and kind of actively dislike, compared to Star, who I care the most about any character, like on TV, like that's a big difference for me. So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk Glossrick, both in this episode and the statement in Crystal Clear that he is apparently the most powerful magic being in the universe. Yet he is still beholden to whoever controls the book, and that's his job. Interesting. I would like that explained at some point.
Well, I think it makes sense in that, like,
has to limit him somehow.
He has to be bound. Like he serves a purpose.
I guess
like a genie in a way,
right? Yeah. But if right, so I guess despite the fact that he's the most powerful, doesn't mean he has the most like free will. Like, yeah. So our portrayal of Glossrick, I think, has been interesting. I would say it's kind of been maddeningly consistent. The way that his character's been portrayed. Like me and Delaney kind of are not the biggest Glossrick fans, to say the least, but I
don't love Glossrick at all.
You don't love Glossrick either?
I find amusement in how much other people really hate him, I think, for me.
For me, The Hard Way, I think, is when his character finally clicked in my head. Like, I think I get Glossrick now.
Okay, what is Glossrick doing?
So I still don't like him, but he made the most sense here. He's kind of just been maddeningly like, ooh, I'm like mystical and like I like pudding. But here it's a very straight portrayal of him as this kind of neutral, beholden to the book, doesn't actually have emotions or really feelings, and is just he gets exasperated if it's like you take him off of like just basic things and things that make him that like don't make a ton of sense to him, but he's kind of just like this emotional neutral being who's just kind of seems quirky because he doesn't really does not really human at all. Like his portrayal.
Do you really think that? Do you really think he's totally neutral and doesn't have an agenda?
Well, that's a good discussion topic, but that's certainly how he's been presented this week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the show's been. I mean, I think the show has been leading us to think otherwise, and that's why this is really interesting.
The show has been leading us to think otherwise.
I mean, I think so.
I think he's a Mr. Manhattan character from, like a Mr. Manhattan-like character from Watchmen. Very much like he's just so separate.
Okay. So I think we started off with the preconceived notion that Glossaryck was good because he presumably worked for the Butterflies and he's Star's magic teacher. I believe that the past few weeks have been about us overcoming those conceptions about Glossaryck. I think the show has been very consistent in showing that he does not actually have any sort of concern for the Butterflies, and it's been about overcoming that preconceived notion, basically, is what I would say.
If that's true, though, why did he burn the page? And why would Toffee say, like, when he possessed Ludo, like, oh, like, I don't think, like, you're gonna try to get him to come over to your side? Like, even Toffee thinks
Toffee did seem convinced after Glossaryck
so I don't know, I think there might be something else going on with Glossaryck.
No, I think Glossaryck is, like, he's loyal to the Butterflies in this sort of, like, I don't know exactly why yet, but like,
I don't know why either.
Because the thing is, like, when he said to Star, like, last week, when he was like, you know, kind of like, I feel like why Glossaryck didn't go back to Star is because this is what's best for Star. Like, I do think Glossaryck, like, thinks that way. I'm not really sure, like, what Glossaryck's motivation is for that, other than, like, we've established that Glossaryck is, like, Star's, like, super powerful, like, ridiculously so. And I feel like that, like, we also need to talk about Star's mom, because I feel like her, like, importance has just been, like, super magnified in this, like, in Hardway and Crystal Clear.
Right. So in Crystal Clear, I guess Romulus interprets Chancellor Luckman as saying, like, yeah, I know she's Queen Butterfly's daughter, right? Like that. I think that's what you're referring to. So clearly, in the scope of the universe, at least with regards to the Magic Commission, Queen Butterfly is an important figure. Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like this might be like this magical bloodline thing, though I'm interested to see how, like, Muni itself plays into, like, the kind of hierarchy of magic in this,
I've
like,
wondered about
universe.
That too.
Maybe Muni's like the original source of magic or something, or like the magic capital. Like it's clearly we haven't done that yet, and I don't know if the show's thought that far ahead, but it's like the Star's mythology is so very thin, which I think is actually a great thing for the show, that it's not like it's hidden in plain sight. Like I don't think it's there yet.
Well, it's starting to make sense to me, like, why everything's kind of happened to Star now. Like, this kind of, like, clicks some things into play. Like, it kind of, like, obviously the show's, like, random, like, super random, but, you know, this kind of starts to make a little bit more sense of, like, why these things are happening, like, why Ludo's after the book, why, like, it's not, like, there is some, like, actual importance to everything that's going on.
Yeah, once we start introducing the High Magic Commission, it doesn't seem as much just a random series of events. I agree. It's like, and we're actually clearly this week and past week is like, let's introduce these High Magic Commission as main characters. Like, so we have like each of their episodes, except Crystal Clear's, like, Luckman's also in the Romulus episode. So it's like this plus the Hekapoo, or like get to know the Magic Commission. So yeah, definitely the purpose of a lot of these. One last point on Glossaryck. I'm not 100% convinced that the show is portraying this. I definitely think it's a clear possibility given what we've seen, in that I think Glossaryck might have a motivation, not just to the book, but to the butterfly lineage as well. I think that's a reasonable interpretation. I would say that my interpretation is, if that is true, is that he is not, emotionally attached to them at all. That's what I would say. I think it is just like it's just like a secondary, that the twist will be like, there's a secondary obligation to them. So it's like something that pulls at him, not something that he cares about, is what I would, assume the reveal would be. But I think it's a very reasonable interpretation, not something that we've seen clearly yet. Like, you know, like Glossaryck, like he's tied to the original magic lineage, like that could tie into why Muni's important and stuff like that.
Well, I know you're, like, I know you have, like, a preference for character, like, you really like characters like this, like, where they don't, like, you know, we kind of have this, like, no emotion thing, but I do think what's important is when Star was like, I thought Glossaryck was my friend. And I think that comment to me, like, Star's hurt by this. And granted, there's also been this theme of, like, you kind of just have to accept things how they are. That was kind of like what the Bounce Lounge was about. But I do think we could be going this route where it is kind of revealed that Glossaryck, in, like, the tiniest modicum, like, possible that he does care.
Yeah, that's definitely a possible twist. I think Star's...
I think that is a possible twist for sure.
Yeah, Star's saying that thought Glossaryck was her friend. Like, I don't think that means anything about Glossaryck. Like, clearly Star's gonna think that. So, like, Star's a very emotional person. So I think that
but
that
like
makes sense.
it was emphasized, and I feel like if the show has not a lot of time to emphasize many things, and if it hit that hard enough that we remember it, like maybe there's some intentionality behind it.
It was just the way it was played to me, made it.
I totally agree, because when I was thinking back, I'm like, oh yeah, that was kind of
reasonable interpretation. I definitely think this episode did its best to convince me that that's not the case, but reasonable interpretation.
The show also tries to trick us as best
it does, much more this season than last. So
and I, regardless of anything with Glossaryck, I don't think that he was better here. I think his characterization for me is still not successful overall. So.
He sucks. But
I mean, there's a difference. There's also just a difference between not liking him and just like I don't think he's like a super positive force on the show. Like I don't. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like from an overall storytelling perspective. Anyway, Ludo learning the Levitato spell.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviosa. Yeah, I was waiting for that the entire time. We had him correcting him. I thought that all things great. We talked about the don't have a side. So Toffee, we talked about this. Coming out of the book, seems like Ludo's corrupted by the tainted by the magic, and then that allows Toffee to possess him. It's not clear though. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. Yes.
I actually kind of have an idea. I think it might be like, so we've had this, like, there's this green, like, so we had like, there's the green hole in Crystal Clear. We've seen the green everywhere. It's like this negative, like, it's clearly not a good force. And like the wand is green, and then he starts to like Ludo's eyes turn green. I feel like this might be something like unique to like, so this would also further the theory that Toffee is Eclipse's son. In that this is like this dark magic, which we're going to identify with Eclipsa, obviously, which, it might not originate with Eclipsa, but it has been established that, butterflies can make up spells like Star did, which I'm going to freak out about later when we talk about it more, because I was like, but
yeah, it's really cool.
I think this could be like, this is like what Eclipse's magic can do. This is Toffee's magic, maybe. Like it allowed, like, I think it came from the wand. Like this, it was just like an opening for Toffee. Like, I don't necessarily think it's like, oh, the book corrupted him and it's Toffee. Like, I think it's like, it's all kind of the same magic.
It was an opportunity. And, that's an interesting interpretation of, that this is like a good proof that Toffee is in the lineage of Queen Eclipsa, because, it was Eclipsa's magic that allows Toffee to overtake, Ludo. It's interesting proof. I think probably we're not going for a Toffee as Eclipsa. Yeah. It's tough to say. I'm not sure where exactly we're going with that, but yeah, that's interesting. And, I don't know why just opening the chapter instantly taints him, but, whatever. It was done really interesting.
Just that susceptible because he's Ludo and not Star. Yeah.
Really, really excited to see Toffee. Let's more Toffee. We need him back into his crocodile body.
Yes,
interesting. So the only reason, if that painting of like Queen Eclipsa with the giant monster is true, and that's like the monster husband.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, why would their son be reptilian at all?
It's like that, and it also means it can't be Toffee, unless Toffee is, like, not the crocodile body, but, like, the soul, and then he's like...
What? Maybe he just knows her really well, but wasn't, like, her child.
Right, but he could have been the husband if he was, like, originally him, and just, like, warged into the crocodile body. When's the last time we talked about warging?
Oh, man, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, I just had that thought. Okay, so yeah, the hardware, there you go. Crystal Clear. So, talked a fair amount about this already, but there's a lot going on here. The most important thing about this episode, I think, that determines whether you think it was a good episode is your opinion on Romulus. So, Delaney,
I love him.
You like Romulus.
We established when we met the Magic Council that I was like, I love Romulus. He's ridiculous. Like, because he was like screaming and breaking stuff, and I was like, I love him. And so when I saw, like, I was watching, like, on the Disney XD app, which is, like, what I do normally, and, like, I saw in the description, Romulus, and I was like, oh, Romulus.
Wow.
So he's so funny. And I just thought, like, definitely, like, I think Romulus carried the episode. Granted, it's also, he's, like, literally talking to his hands, and he's, like, super dumb. But I think he's more interesting than Ludo. Like, I don't know. And also, his character design just appeals to me. Like, he's ridiculous looking. Like, I love it.
Yeah, no, his hands are so great. And I agree, like, his charm is that, like, he's very well-meaning, but he's really stupid and really aggressive all in one. So, like, it's fascinating to see how he reacts to situations.
Yeah, so you're a Romulus fan, Michelle?
Yeah, I really love the part when the snake hands are like, "Oh, you should work out," and you like realize they're trying to like knock him out.
Was really good.
Number. That was so funny. Like, oh man,
I do like this. He's a great character. I do like the snake hands. They're kind of the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. I love snake. It's like, why would you make this character design and then like how his nipple gems, you can take them off and just like there's so many good parts.
Romulus to me is like clearly in the vein of Star in that you just design this ridiculous image and then you like apply story to this to what like you're not gonna like make it like the snake hands are an independent person. Oh, that's cool. Let's draw that. Like it's like Star was like, okay, let's draw like the most adorable thing we can draw and then like let's build this mythology around this character. Like, and I think that's the same thing with Romulus, but for like absurdity. I'm not opposed to Romulus as a character. I think he did do a good job, like in carrying the episode. Like I think he's kind of interesting. I do like the snake hands. I think his the first half of this episode is pretty off-putting to me. Like to the extent where it like tainted LOL like the rest of the episode. Like so Romulus is just making such like morally bad actions that I really didn't like him. Like you can't freeze Star and like expect me to like you.
That's a
like,
fair point. Yeah,
like it was too much. Like like this episode portrayed the like this freezing is kind of like death. Like that's kind of like,
it's permanent until
it's permanent until he unfreezes them. Like he had all these people from like thousands of years presumably. It's like he did that to Star and Marco. Like that was not okay with me. Like I could not see Star and that wasn't good. So and he was just like absurd and all powerful and didn't care about his actions. I really just didn't like him for most of the episode. So so like from my perspective, it's like a miscalculation. Like they're making him bumbling, but I think they went too far. I do think they did a good job, like exploring the realm of what they were doing in this episode, like Lekman and, the extent of him and, the universe magic being on the fritz. Like, he did a good job of, portraying all of that, or they did a good job portraying it through him. So, but once you break Star to the ice, I think this episode shines. Star talking to him was wonderful. I mean, but like, that's cause Star is wonderful. Like, you know, Star makes everyone better. So it's like once we got Star out of potential permanent frozen death, I was happier. So it's better. I think so this is our Romulus like introduction episode. We also have Chancellor Lekman here, who is a goat demon and only Romulus can understand him.
I don't know why, but every time the person who was making the goat sounds for that character said anything, it was just like really funny to me. I don't know why.
What do you think of Lekman, Michelle?
I think he's fine.
Not your fave?
I don't know anything really about him yet.
Thoughts, Delaney?
Well, I thought he was like funny because like his like facial expressions and he's just literally like bawing.
Yeah, I know. Funny. It's like so stupid, but it's like really funny.
And then like he had to get on like his chair.
Oh yeah, the like old person chair.
Yeah, that was a really good beat because he's just like, oh, here's this like crazy magic boss who's like can do anything, and he just gets on the old person
has the old person chair. Yeah.
And like I do think like I agree that like he wasn't like Romulus wasn't that like sympathetic in the beginning, but I also think they played well with like how much he clearly cares for Lekman and like what he was doing with that was okay.
I agree.
He chilled out a lot when Star actually talked to him. I think this could be an issue of like we've seen so little of him that his personality might seem like so extreme because we don't have other episodes to balance it out.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that he was like a bad person. It actually kind of pissed me off that they're portraying him as a good person, yet he was doing these horrible things. Like that actually annoyed me. Like I didn't get the impression he was bad though. You know, like that.
Yeah, I think the amount of power he has to the extent he can use it is concerning for sure, even if his heart is like technically in the right place. I can agree with that.
Yeah, he does seem to be like one of the most powerful things. In the universe,
that was really
despite,
powerful.
You know, like I guess he's responsible for like all crystals in the world.
Yeah, like Glosseric's like hella like hinted at special crystals so that's pretty.
And he's like
intense.
The opposite of Glosseric.
Yeah.
He's just like overly emotional and crazy.
He's just terrible. It's great.
His snake hands were great though, and just having to like freeze his own snake hands, like that was quality. So what do we think? What's with this magic, Fritz? So like, how's this going to play into our finale? Do you have any theories, Delaney?
Well, I don't know. Like, I think it's more like once we've introduced the Fritz, it made more sense like what was going on with the wand.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of. It's going to come into like not. Like, obviously, Star's the savior, duh. But I mean it more in, like, a, like, Star's magic itself will be, like, the savior of this Fritz. Though I'm not really sure how much it's really going to play into the finale. I definitely feel like the Fritz is really long game, like even longer game maybe than Eclipsa. Though I think we're definitely going to come to a point where Star is actually going to be confronted with the Fritz, because like this is the first time she's heard of it, so she's like hadn't noticed really. And so I feel like in the finale, or a little bit towards the finale, something's going to happen where Star is going to be like, it's this Fritz. And then maybe a conversation with her mom, like, what do you know about this? Because we've kind of opened that channel up a little bit. Maybe an update from her parents, too, about, like, what they're doing about the book, what they're doing on their side, or maybe even an episode with just them, like, kind of doing what they think they need to do for, like, the situation that has, like, developed. So I feel like that might be where we're going a little bit. I definitely don't think there's going to be any resolution to the Fritz.
Yeah, so you think it's more of a framing device for character moments rather than something that's going to be addressed in the plot right away.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. What do you think, Michelle?
I think everything Delaney said is like super plausible, though, even down to like her talking to her mom. Because like we saw that portrait of like her mom taking out Toffee. Like that says so much more about how much more we need to know her mom, and like how much more she's going to play into the mythos of like everything surrounding what's going on with the Fritz and with the wands. And like, I mean, like the only extent of the Fritz, I guess, that Star has seen is the very few times like the green magic has come out of her own wand, and she doesn't know why. Like, Gloucester kind of takes notice, doesn't say anything about it, but, like, yeah. I mean, I think the only person who probably knows a lot about the Fritz who isn't, like, maybe her mom or Eclipsa is, like, Toffee. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how it's gonna play in the rest of the season. I don't see an immediate resolution either.
Yeah, I don't see an immediate resolution.
And I don't think the source. I don't think we know the source yet. We
don't know the source.
And I don't mean that in literally like we don't know what the source is. I mean like
you think it's something we haven't seen yet.
We haven't met the source. Yeah, I feel like this is something we're dealing with like later seasons. Like I don't think it's Toffee, and I definitely don't think it's Ludo.
Yeah.
So I think
something else entirely.
Right.
That
I think there's definitely like a possibility that it's Star, and just her being like this, and how this ties into her being super powerful, like the most powerful we've seen. It's like, Romulus was right. You know, it's like I think that's definitely a possibility. If it is Star, then I think we could address it sooner rather than later.
Well, I feel like in terms of like, I'm going to compare this to Avatar. So like, you know, you had your season, like, so like the plot of book 1, we have to go to the Northern Water Tribe and learn water bending. And then book 2, we have to master earth bending and then take back Ba Sing Se and then rip Aang. And then book 3, like, defeat the Fire Lord. But the overarching story was we have to defeat the Fire Lord before the comet comes. And I feel like this is Sozin's comet, like the flux, like whatever's like the drain going on right now.
That's endgame.
That's endgame.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe Eclipse is tied to that. Maybe Eclipse is the key in that we have to have Eclipse's magic and Star's magic. Though I do like the idea that it could be Star, but I feel like it could be sort of like she's the problem and the solution. And I don't mean that she stops doing what she's doing.
She could be the thing to resolve it, but I'd like to think it's not like just her, like herself is the answer, but she is able to choose the answer for being herself or something. Like, I don't want her to be like the thing that like makes like the flux.
Yeah. Resolving. If Star's the cause of the Fritz, then it's her is.
If he's a little too convenient, yeah.
Well, it's like her. The resolution is like her coming to terms with her power and like catching up to her abilities, and like it ties into her character arc. So it'd be like a framing device for her character arc.
Right.
Yeah, I think that the show could use an overall goal, like Sozin's comment. I'm not convinced this is it, but we'll see. Like, we just don't have enough information.
Right.
And so Star could be the Fritz, Toffee could be the Fritz, Eclipsa, but we saw Eclipsa frozen, so it's hard for her. But yeah, or it could be someone we don't know yet. Anyway, I don't super care about it yet, but I think it's interesting. So yeah, one random thing is Romulus gives Star one of the nipple crystals.
Yeah, one of like the most
what are we doing with that? Yeah,
I don't know. That's for later for sure.
Yeah, I love Star holding the things up to her ears, like, ooh, pretty. But yeah, I'm interested to see what she does with the crystal that she.
I like the immediate band-aids.
How like Toffee.
Yeah, he had band-aids there. Yeah,
like fingers also still in her like closet, right? Like we're gonna come back to that at some point. Hopefully.
Yeah, don't just throw this crystal into your closet.
Yeah, like
no, we're going to address. I feel like we're going to go into the secret closet again.
Yeah, we're going to the secret closet and talk about all these things.
Yeah. We should go back there. That was good. Okay, let's talk the Bounce Lounge, our least plot consequential episode, but I thought it was still fun. We have the long-awaited return of Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you sad about Tad? Like, I was like, Dylan's hurting somewhere.
I did, to be honest, I didn't really remember what happened in Goblin Dogs, so I didn't really, it's a problem with the show. I forget a lot of things. I remembered Kelly. I didn't remember Tad was a thing, but, yeah, I'm glad we had her back.
I remember we talking about it. We're like, do you ship Kelly and Tad? 'Cause that's the dumb stuff we normally do.
Well, their hair's the same color. That's the reason.
Yeah. Were we retconning Kelly here? Because I feel like Goblin Dogs was supposed to be the first time we met her.
Yeah, what's the first time you met her?
Yeah, I was really confused.
Was it supposed to be the first time? I got the impression that the first time Star met her as well.
Yes, Star met her. Yeah. Well, I think actually maybe it was the first time Marco met.
Oh, yeah. was Star in that
the original team? Then Star and Punnyhead hung out with her before.
Yeah, so I guess anyway. Regardless, glad to see Kelly back. Who's your fave member of the Bounce crew, Delaney?
Johnny Blowhole, hands down.
Why?
Really?
Why?
He's a whale.
Oh my god, you say it like it makes so much sense, Delaney.
Like when I saw him like in the picture, I was like, "OMG, it's a whale!" And then like he was like on a pirate ship, and then they were like they were like, "Do the thing," and like he like made bubbles come. I was done. Like, he's the best.
I like the way Delaney described it more than it actually happened in the episode.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, who's your fave then?
I liked the talking headphones, actually. I don't know.
Those were cool. I like those too.
They were good at hyping people up. Like, they were actually good at partying. Like,
and they were sassy.
Yeah, they were sassy too. I liked that.
Yeah. Kelly's obviously the best one. I mean, come on. Like, I could be, what'd Kelly say? Like, I could be, like, super depressed anywhere. Like, I could.
Oh, I've been corrected by my girlfriend. She's irritated. She had to come over with a post-it note. I'm sorry, he's a dolphin.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Like, he looked kind of like
I don't think it matters that much, but yeah.
It mattered to Tanya.
Okay,
so
it's all good, yeah.
She got up and came over here to tell me that via a passive-aggressive post-it note.
Dolphin, yeah, noted. Okay, yeah, that was such a weird scene of get the stupid dolphin from the ship, and he forgot what party. Yeah. Anyway, so
there's ate the captain when he turned into a rabbit. That was
that was pretty dark.
Yeah,
he straight up killed him.
He was screaming. He was a living carrot when that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. So most importantly, Delaney, what are your thoughts on Millie, the head of the Bounce Lounge?
Okay, so at first, like, it was really like I was like, I'm digging this like drag queen thing going on here. And then at the end, I was like, is this college? I'm tired. I've been partying for 5,000 years. I was like, this is good stuff. I don't know. It was like neat and weird. Like, I really enjoyed like this mystique. At the end, I was like, oh, this is kind of like, I felt a little miffed, like a little like, no, I don't like that word. Just felt like I was like, oh, I didn't like that. Like, I felt like kind of ripped off. Like, that it was like she didn't want to party anymore, but then it was also funny, so it was okay.
She's been partying for too long. Like, I kind of liked that. Like, the solution wasn't that they actually got what they wanted. It was like she just was hella old and like was done.
Yeah. It was a funny resolution. You like Millie, Michelle?
I like her fine. I mean, I guess I can appreciate the mystique.
Yeah, I think the best part of this character was when she comes down. Well, she comes down. It's like what she said something, and she like goes back up in the sky. And it happens really fast, and the way this episode
the more you can appreciate, I guess.
Yeah, this episode had really good pacing. A lot of these comedic focused episodes in Star sometimes flounder because they just don't execute like whatever the script is very well. But in this case, like they had really fast cuts. This it was kind of silly, the moment of her going back, retreating into the sky. Like they cut to that really fast. I think a lot of it really worked for me. I thought the sequence at the end of them like dance harder in order to get like all the money, and how Marco plays into that. I thought all of that was really good. Like I really enjoyed that.
Funny.
Yeah. I love that when he like let loose, his dancing was not cool at all. It was like karate. I was like, oh my god, it's great. He's such a nerd. This is perfect.
That was sweet. I liked that.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Well, as someone who does karate, I was like, this is cute. Good job.
Yeah.
I feel like we're bearing the lead though. Like, so.
Yes.
So the part where they're like, look at all these photos and like junior prom, and I'm like, what is this timeline? I am so confused. Like, I was like, literally like the most confused. I was like, what?
I guess that's middle school, right? Like,
no, I'm so like, is it junior prom as in like junior? Like, I'm just so confused.
Yeah,
like,
that's not what that phrase means in my mind. I agree. Yeah,
I was so like all of those pictures. They were like, and it just reminded me like back home. There's this place called Skates Alive. And it's like all the middle school, it's a place you rollerblade. And like when you're like in like roller skate. And of course, when you're like 5th to the 8th grade, it's like the coolest place to hang out or whatever. And then of course you get like, you're 14, you're like, I don't want to go there. There's like drug dealers and like you're going to get knocked over by a 6-year-old. And like, I was like, this is what this is. Like, it's like, oh, it was really cool. Like forever ago, but now it's not. I was just like overwhelmed by that. I was like, they just encapsulated this in an episode. And I'm like, what?
You were relating to that. Yeah. Thoughts on a younger acne star?
Still adorable. And she had braces, right? Like,
yeah, braces. Like, yeah, it was pretty great. Ponyhead in this episode.
Okay, her tears were terrifying. Like,
at the very beginning, I was like, what is going on here? It's like rainbow nightmare fuel coming out of her face. Yeah, no, it was weird.
Like, I wrote that down specifically. I was like, scary, like, Ponyhead tears.
I thought Ponyhead was good here. Most important part of the episode we haven't talked about yet is the Starco moment.
I knew Dylan was waiting. That's what he thought I was going to say when I said.
Yeah, I thought I was excited, but no.
No, I knew. I was like, I'm going to crush Dylan.
Yeah. So at the end, it's like whatever. Like they do a dance or something. It's cute. I don't know.
They're the cutest.
Star like twirls Marco around. I think like
she dips him.
It's our oh my god! It's the Katango. It's like
it is. Yeah,
that's the abbreviated Katango.
It's the Starco salsa. There we go.
Starco salsa.
It has to have a name like the Katango. Like
that was super cute and really good animation too here. That was really well. That was like in the light of coming off of Millie, so it looked really cool. And there's also a super adorable Starface when she was like puppy dog eyes earlier. Those were the screenshot options. I went with the Starco moment though.
Oh, so. I really, just speaking of facial expressions, I really loved like. So, like, when Ponyhead's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm ready to reveal or confess or whatever.
Yeah. That was great.
And then Star immediately
starts just, like, bawling.
That was, like, really funny. It was just really funny to me.
I really liked Ponyhead just bawling and then, like, okay, I'm ready to reveal. Like, it's such a dramatic Ponyhead. It was really good.
And naturally, she's, like, my girlfriend's favorite character because she's also dramatic. Like, that was, like, a number one comment I got was how great Ponyhead is.
Ponyhead's pretty great. Thoughts on a lot of hype about the music in the Bounce Lounge that they play during the sequence.
I don't remember it. What was so great about it?
It's people are hype. Commenter Steve is very hype about that.
That's interesting.
No, it's on YouTube already. They posted the song. It's pretty good.
I'm intrigued.
I'll go back.
Yeah, it's like the Stars dance music. Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it because it was like
this is like a gay club. It's a gay. Well, explain.
It's just like I've been to gay clubs. It's like a gay club. Like,
how is this different from a normal club in terms of this?
It's just gay, Dylan. It's just a gay club.
Understood. I guess so. Okay. Anything else from the Bounce Lounge?
It was fine.
No. Yeah, it was fine. It was solid.
No, okay. Mathmagic. So this is our introduction to Omnitraxus Prime. He's the skull in the snow globe, I guess, and now he's a giant thing that controls space-time. Delaney, what are your thoughts on Omnitraxus?
I love him. Like, he was like so done with Star, and then like he's space-time. That's my favorite thing ever. Like, that's so good. And like, I really like his design. Like, he's really cool. And like his voice is just
his voice is awesome.
It's like I actually rank him higher. I know Dylan's gonna be like, what? Like, this is a big deal for me. I rank him higher than Vatu.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
you can't. No one's better than his voice.
Yeah, I think he's like. I was like really digging him. Granted, he doesn't drop the bass like Vatu does, which is like the best thing. It's like the Vatu laser, but
the bass.
Omnitraxus Prime, voiced by Carl Weathers, does a great job with this. Yes,
amazing.
Michelle, thoughts on Omnitraxus?
I thought it was really cool. I liked him a lot. I also really loved his character design, and I like that he was like trying so hard to like make Star understand, but like was clearly like also very done with her. So that's always fun.
Yeah, I really liked him. I thought the use of him in this episode was really good. His voice is great. His design's great. I would rank the Magic High Commission as follows. Number 1, Hecapoo, obviously. I mean, come on. Hecapoo's number 1. Number 2, Omnitraxis. Number 3, Romulus. Number 4, Lekmet. Because we haven't seen enough of him yet.
I would agree.
Yeah,
like, I really like Omnitraxis. Like, he's great.
You'd put Romulus 3, Delaney?
Yes, like I love Romulus.
Flawed. We can all agree with that.
Well, I mean, if I ranked my favorite Legend of Korra characters, Vatu's not on it, but I love Vatu.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let me explain why I love Mathmagic. I think it's the best of this week, and why I think it's potentially even a top 10 episode of the show. Like it's. So at first I'm super annoyed because it seems like a really stupid episode for the first 2 minutes, but then it does the thing where it's repeating itself and it's like stuck in a time loop. And first of all, that's great. That's one of Dylan's favorite plot elements. And, in general, this episode is super self-contained, ding, ding, ding. And, really everything works. Everything comes back. And, every element of it is there for a purpose, in this episode.
Everything Dylan loves about episodes.
Right. Like, I really love self-contained episodes that the beginning relates to the end. I love how they repeat the loop and how, Jen has a different stupid hat and she tells a different, knock, why the chicken, cross the road joke. And I love, first of all, that's the concept, and like Star finds that hilarious at first because, she's just an alien and she's never heard that before. Like, that's like totally a Star reaction.
And then she like explained why the joke was funny.
Yeah. That was great. That was the best explanation I've seen.
That killed me. Like, that was the best part.
Yeah. And we just subtly change it. That was all really well done. I love how, we see the different designs of Star. Like, that was so fun.
That was cool. I liked that.
I love, everything with Omnitraxis Prime talking to her and, the explanation. And I love the resolution of Star just has to try. Like, this, Mathmagic to me felt like a classic animation episode. Like, this to me feels like it. Like, I could see this being like repeated. It had all the elements. It had like its moral that was well done. It like, has like a typical plot that's just really well executed with this like repeating loop. I think I love every part of this episode. I'm not saying it's better than the 3 brilliant ones last week, but, this one really worked for me.
I like totally agree with you. Like, I will actually honestly, like, I first watched it and I was like, I'm just the same. I watched it, I'm like, this is stupid. And then I was like, oh my God, I love this episode. Like this is also to me, like, this episode, I'm like, this is literally Rick and Morty. Like, this is like,
this was a Rick and Morty episode. Sure. Yeah.
And that's like, obviously I love Rick and Morty, duh. And then, like, it was Star plus Rick, like, it was the most Rick and Morty Star has ever been. And it has parallel universes, which is like my favorite thing ever. And something I've been waiting for them to talk about, which is awesome. It had space-time in it, which is like Delaney's favorite thing, and it's great. Like, yes, talk about space-time, please. And like time loops, and like, I just really like, oh, no, you were totally wrong. Like, and then like, they also did they did the parallel universe thing really funny. Like, they did it really, like, it was super funny. I just like, I figured Dylan would like it as much as I did. I just wasn't like, sure.
Yeah. Well,
I'm curious to see like the fandom reaction.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been as positive as us. No, this has been one of the lower ranked ones of the.
And then like also, oh my God, I feel bad. I can't remember her name. The troll teacher.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah.
When she goes off on like, she's talking about how great math is. I just loved that. Like, that was so good. Like, the show gets really real sometimes, like, in the background. Like they have like things that are real. They talk about it and then they're just like, no. Yeah. It was just so good.
Yeah, the moment when Troll Teacher says, "No, you were totally wrong, but at least you tried."
At least you tried. That was really great.
It was such a cathartic moment. It was really good. Like, for such kind of just a basic concept, like a basic moral, it just felt so emotionally great to watch that. Like, I love that moment.
Well, also, I don't really think it's that basic of a moral. I feel like this isn't a moral that you actually see a lot. Like, a lot of it is like, you have to be right, you have to be, like, be really good at stuff. And to see this was really nice, especially kind of like in the like world we live in right now, and like the standard like millennials are held to and stuff like that. Like, it's cathartic.
In our era of standardized testing, and
yes,
no, I agree. It's not necessarily something that's frequently espoused. Yeah, I agree.
To be fair, like, because like kind of the whole like end of that was like, she's like, okay, well, like, if all the other versions of me know it, then I can just like hone in on that. But if that had worked and she'd gotten it right because every other version of her knew it, that kind of would have felt like cheating. So the fact that it didn't matter that she knew how, it was that she herself tried and didn't even get it right, that I think that does like give it a lot more substantial weight as a conclusion.
I agree.
Too.
One of the frequent things people get pissed off at Star about is just how like she is kind of this type of thing, like that she doesn't like try at things like that. Like this is actually a really good moment for her character. Like I don't get pissed off for that.
My thing is like I love like her like the Hermione Granger archetype is like one of my favorite things ever. But we have to have characters like this because
seriously.
We go through this thing, it's like, I'm not like other girls. It's like, shut up, whatever. That's annoying. You're wrong. Anyway. So having a character like Star is just great. Like, I love her. She's adorable. She's just sweet. And then, like, she's also terrifying. And, like, she's just, like, it's just, like, having characters like this, there are, like, we have different flavors of girl, and they're all great. So, like, that's really what I like about this.
Yeah. Michelle, thoughts on the episode overall?
I thought it was nice. I mean, I also don't think there's anything I could add that both of you haven't already said. And I think you got more out of it than I did. So for me, it was just refreshing to see your perspectives. But yeah, I thought it was a really good episode overall. Yeah. I thought it had really good Rick and Morty vibes for sure. And I liked the payoff that she just had to try. So. Yeah,
for me, this and the Bounce Lounge are the most Rick and Morty type of the four. I think so.
The Bounce Lounge was like flips and...
Yeah,
I can't remember how that goes, but that's it.
Yeah, Blitz and Chips. So yeah. I would highly recommend rewatching Mathmagic. I basically just rewatch. I try to rewatch everything we talk about just so I have a really good understanding of it. But I got a lot out of rewatching this episode, is what I would say.
I feel like the thing is like it's really easy to shut down in the beginning because you're like, this is dumb.
Yeah,
and then like you're like, no, it's not dumb. It's amazing. And then like it's so good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's dumb had a purpose, so it plays better when you know that. We need to talk about the different versions of Star. So
yes, and the crystals.
We need to pick a fave version of Star. That's the most important thing.
Obviously.
What stands out? The return of Goth Star. That's very notable with the purple hair.
There was a Cat Star.
We had Cat Star. Yeah, that was great. We had Queen Star.
We had Queen Star, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. We had Old Star. We had, like, Child Star. We had the return of Ludo Costume Star. I'm looking at the screenshot now. We had Demon Star.
Yeah, we had a star that looked kind of like Tom, but...
I was
like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think we've kind of, like, Kelly-looking Star with her hair. Her as a donut, which was weird.
I really like that. It was
that was fascinating.
Yeah, we had, like, Party Girl Star with, like, the giant, like, the lipstick. We had a Star looking like her hero. I forget her name from.
Yeah. There was like a Dipper Star.
There's a Dipper
Star.
Star.
It was like she was like wearing a cap, and then like it looked. I think she was like wearing a vest. Or something.
No, that was it was Boy Star. Yeah, that was Boy Star.
Oh yeah, no, the Boy Star I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's one of the faves. So what is your fave Star, Delaney?
It's probably between Boy Star and the Cat. Cat Star was really great.
Yeah, Michelle.
It'd be between Boy Star and Demon Star for me, I think.
Yeah, I like Demon Star and Queen Star.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Queen Star's great. Seeing
all of the stars are great, obviously.
Yeah,
all the stars are great. Really there's also Warrior Princess Her and her Muberty Star.
Yes.
The Muberty Star's good.
Yeah.
Muberty Star's terrifying. That episode is still the weirdest.
That still needs to pay off, by the way. We haven't done anything.
Yes, I agree.
The wings. That's true.
Yeah. Well, when are we doing something with the wings? Yeah. But yeah, Omnitraxis Prime, he's the space-time guy. Oh, well, okay. Oh, I buried the lead. Parallel universes confirmed Delaney and Star Wars.
Which I did mention twice, by the way.
Yeah. We didn't, I wanted to make it a topic discussion. Thoughts on parallel universes?
Like, it's the
Not in general, in Star.
Like, I'm so happy because, like, we've had, like, the dimensions thing, and then we were also confused, like, when I was, like, running with scissors. So finally, I'm so happy about this payoff. Like it makes so much sense, and it's perfect, and it's the exact amount of ridiculousness we needed. And I just enjoy this kind of like this is like the most non-sci-fi sci-fi show, and it's ridiculous. Like I just can't handle it, and I love it. And like and the way they introduced it, the way they explained it, like it's perfect. I'm so happy about it. It's the most Star like explanation of something like this, and it was great.
Yeah. Michelle, thoughts on parallel universes?
I'm excited about them.
Yeah. The rebellions are very exciting. I hate the concept of, I don't know if I've said this before, but the concept of parallel universes in applying to real life is the stupidest thing, I think. Anyway,
I disagree with Dylan. I love multiverse.
I think multiverse if you try to apply it to real life, I think is the stupidest thing. But Rick and Morty does this so well, and I love how Rick and Morty does it, and I love how this show did it with this. It was like kind of a Rick and Morty type thing, and just the different versions of Star using that as an application of the parallel universes, and like they're all trying to solve it. I love the application of it in this episode. It was really wonderful.
For the record, I don't believe in the multiverse, but I think it's really cool.
It's
like
a fun
in comics
concept.
and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I love
A lot of people do. A lot of people believe in that. It's not like an absurd thing to believe.
Which like it's
like
fine. I just want I don't want people being like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like I don't. So,
I think that's like
Can't
a
bounce off
legitimate
theories,
scientific
yeah.
option. It just doesn't.
no,
make
it
logical
is like
sense
there's
to
like
me.
string
Yeah.
theory and
Yeah.
like all this different
Yeah.
stuff.
So, yeah, we don't need to get into that. I support the Steins Gate version of this. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, well, let's rank the episodes. Delaney.
Oh God. Okay. Mathmagic, number
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
And then probably The Hard Way, Crystal Clear, and The Bounce Lounge. Though I do think like I could kind of flip Crystal Clear or The Hard Way. Kind of like, I don't know, like just the stuff they talked about in Crystal Clear was really interesting. It was visually interesting. But like obviously The Hard Way was like the best Ludo episode. Granted, that bar is at 0 for me.
I know.
And like The Bounce Lounge, like they were all good. It's kind of hard to rank them, though I do. For me, I just really enjoyed Mathmagic.
Yeah. Michelle?
Are we going from
Top to bottom.
top to bottom? Hard Way, Crystal Clear, Mathmagic, The Bounce Lounge.
Incorrect, but okay.
Personal rankings, Delaney. That's a very that's
statement.
such
Yeah.
a Dylan statement, Delaney.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, I've got Mathmagic number 1, and then the other 3 are really close. I guess I'll go Bounce Lounge 2, Hard Way, then Crystal Clear, but they're all 2 to 4 are very close. Steve has them as Bounce Lounge number 1 because he loved the song, and then Hard Way, Mathmagic, and Crystal Clear. Steve was hyped for Hekapu to be in that episode, and Hekapu was not in that episode. I was also hyped.
Sad Steve.
Yeah. We got there's comments from Steve and Andy quickly, and then preview that later. We're running pretty long, but it's okay. We have a lot to talk about. And Patron Andy says, I think these episodes definitely stepped down from last week, but at least they had Star learning things. I'm hoping that we see all of that character growth means for Star before the end of the season. At the very least, they entertained me. They didn't just make me feel anything like last week. An emphasis added by me. Yeah. I agree. These were less emotional than last week. So let's pick the Steve. Okay, let's read this part from freaking commenter Steve. Part of me is disappointed. Part of me is glad that we got no Jana in I don't know, everything past the first one. Little Jana is never a bad thing, but from a show and narrative, knowing your characters, I don't think Jana is someone that is into clubbing. Okay, it's for the second episode. It is another good message. Friends don't have to do everything together. People have interests, though. I'd love for Jana to meet these people. Yeah, Jana could have been in the Bounce Lounge episode, I feel like, in some capacity. Yeah. We're not, for a while it seemed like Jana was like now a main character, and I think
it's kind of questionable at this point.
We also haven't seen Jackie, so
Jackie was in. Everyone was in Mathmagic.
Yeah,
Jackie was super tired and was like, cat face. Yeah, that was Jackie in Mathmagic. But no, not a lot of Jana or Jackie. So I don't know. Okay, that's good. Yeah, sorry, running out of time. So let's do the next week's episode titles. So our last week, next week, and then Monday is the Monday after that is the finale. Next week we have a Heinous on Monday.
Oh God.
Miss Heinous, the return. I'm very happy of from the school in season 1. Finally,
a little bit. Yeah. So hopefully it'll be a fun payoff.
Yeah, all belts are off, which I can only imagine will be a terrible episode.
Why do you keep these karate episodes? I don't understand the appeal. Yeah. It's like every time they do Ronaldo episode in Steve Universe, it's like why do the creators just like these?
No. Don't equate the two. Ronaldo's great. The karate episodes are not great. We'll debate this upcoming next week. All belts. Collateral damage. That could be anything.
Terrifying.
And then the very, very hype Thursday episode next week. Just Friends. Just Friends. The plot description is also pretty hype too.
I actually want to cry. Oh my God.
Yeah, there was a thing from the preview. I guess I won't say it to spoil Delaney, but there's a potential Starco tease moment in the preview, and that's almost certainly coming in Just Friends. So it's going to be very, very hype for that. Yeah. So we're going to go right into it. Just Friends, and then probably 2 emotional Starco.
I'm going to when the Avatar finale, like I was gonna turn my TV off if Zatara happened. Like literally, I was like, if they kiss, I'm turning my TV off because Katang had to happen. That's how I feel about Starko. So like, I'm gonna be like freaking out.
Yeah, no, I'm rooting for the drama though. I want
I want to see the drama. I want to see turmoil.
Yeah, I want to emphasize this. I'll talk about this more next week. But Starko is not just Star and Marco Abbey. This is Star freaking out about Marco liking Jackie. That is Starko. Like this is the application of Starko right now, right? So we're exploring this and how that Star needs to not be happy with. I mean, I don't want to see Star upset, but this needs to happen for her arc, and it's gonna be great. And she's gonna turn into Dark Star and Dark Avatar, and it's merge with
the Dark Avatar was terrible.
And merge with Vatu, aka Toffee, and for
Unistar.
Okay.
Oh, massive.
Unistar, I'm calling Unistar.
Staratu.
Ew, it's even
Staratu,
worse.
yeah. That's what's happening. It's coming.
Worst
Okay. Last comments on anything this week, guys.
It's all great. I'm just so happy. Please don't hurt Star.
Don't, no.
Yeah.
Dark Star is fine, but I don't know. Dark Star doesn't mean Star's hurt. I don't know. We'll see. Excited. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Check us out at overlyanimated.com. Search the Overly Animated Podcast, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, your other favorite podcatcher. Consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Cordell, aka Cordell University. A lot of action on the patron Facebook group. You can only get into that if you become a patron. So please check that out and the other benefits of becoming a patron at patreon.com/overlyanimated. New Steven Universe tomorrow, Steven Universe, listener feedback show coming up, and then back at it at Star next week. So, right in the heart of Star here. Very exciting. More exciting than Steven Universe right now by a lot, to be honest. But Steven Universe was good in it last week, but Star is much more exciting right now.
I agree.
Yeah. But tomorrow might actually be a plot episode of Steven Universe, so it might be hype. So we'll see. Something happened in the first 2 minutes, so this will say. Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.